You're not wrong about that, my friend. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a series of unfortunate events. We are not going this way. We're going this way. Wait, are we?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
You tell me. Maybe you should be.
Well, I'm pretty sure this is where we got the something. Collect Josephine's grammar books. Ah, okay. Do we have the grammar books already?
So are you under the impression this is going to be the last session for this?
Yeah. So
Do you think it'll run the entire week?
No.
No?
Like, it's completely possible. I just don't know if it will or won't. Okay, I'm gonna go back down there. The problem is, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know where I am in the... like, I don't know what's going on in the game for me. So, I can't tell you whether or not... I can't tell you when anything is gonna be able to do anything. Okay, do we have the books? We have the books, alright. Plot.
Was that your stomach?
I don't think so. It's the leeches.
It's a good thing none of us have eaten in a while. Right?
I had one banana left. I was so hungry.
We've got to hold the leeches back until it can rescue us.
Remember when I told y'all to check out the bananas?
Can't let those leeches
Oh,
get
hell.
your recipe.
That's why I told y'all to remember the leeches and the bananas. Apparently, these leeches can smell food on you from like super far away. And when they smell food on you, they attack you. And this stupid bitch knew that, and she knew she was getting in a boat with children.
Watch out for the red leeches. I hear they're really delicious.
Oh.
Keep them away.
I mean, she of all people should know anyway.
Even her uncle, her husband, Ike, he got murdered by the leeches, yeah.
Keep them away.
Yeah?
They're getting closer. Children, help. They're
She
attacking.
didn't get bit. Whatever.
They're getting closer.
They beg to differ.
There's something I wanted to talk about in this, tonight.
In this tonight.
I don't remember what it was.
Good talk.
Like, I think it had a lot to do with, like, emotional stuff and relationship stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, I know, right? So the thing that makes this difficult is the fact that they start spawning the fast-moving leeches in closer to her. And I think she can take 4 hits before it's a wrap.
Keep them away.
How would you feel about a map that has several floors, but does not do anything distinctive between each floor to let you know this is on this floor?
Extremely useless.
I know, right?
Josephine, you know what, lady?
This is
Fuck!
the end.
I really thought I was gonna be able to do that in one. Oh, hey, all right. It checkpoints. What the? Where the hell were checkpoints in the last one? Oh, wow, really? What is like? Cause the maps in Metroid Prime are like that. Like, I mean, they don't necessarily distinguish up from down, but the maps are 3D in the sense that like a room is a box. So you don't get confused about what you're looking at.
We're not going to make it. We're all... Ouch!
Yeah, I guess.
I said the hitboxes on these reaches hot spunk.
They're getting close. Ouch!
Delicious.
It does seem like I can like just let them get closer to it. Like, they all seem to be the same spot.
Is that what you want to do?
We're all...
It seems to be the most effective. Because they all seem all the leeches seem to kind of attack her and they say, oh, she got me.
They're attacking me.
People are supposed to.
Violet, the rescue ship is here.
No, is it? Plot
As
alone.
so often happens, the Baudelaire children's relief turned to despair when their rescuer turned out to be none other than Count Olaf. And as so very often happens, Count Olaf did something of such unspeakable cruelty that I must refuse to even speak about it. Suffice it to say, Aunt Josephine was no longer a part of the children's lives.
And Josephine!
Children! Is that you?
Yes, it's me, Violet. Our dear Count Olaf has just saved us from the lachrymose leeches.
Back to the depths, you blood-sucking hellions! You'll not devour these innocent children's heads today. Not on my watch. Not on my watch? No, I like the first one. It appears I was wrong about you. You've proven yourself to be an exceptionally capable guardian, and I would be remiss in my duties if I did not put them back in your care. Oh, I'm dancing on air. My heart is swelling like a blood tick. Why, if it weren't for you... Don't say it! I can't bear the thought of losing my little treasures. Even the massive inheritance would be a constant reminder of my heartache. Really? Oh, well, no need to fret about that. The law clearly states that you would not inherit the Baudelaire fortune if anything happened to the children. That only applies to close relatives and married couples. Married? My good man, you've given me an idea. I shall celebrate the children's safe return with the debut performance of my new play. It's called The Marvelous Marriage.
Little did he know.
The children
that.
soon discovered that Count
Still more
Olaf
plot.
planned to gain control of their fortune by marrying Violet. To ensure that they would cooperate, Count Olaf caged their sister Sunny and suspended her from the top of his tower. While Violet felt she had no choice but to go through with the wedding, Klaus set off on his own to rescue Sunny before it was too late.
Okay, now there's no plot. Yeah, might as well. Gosh, dang it. I didn't do the thing I said I was going to do. I didn't unplug the mini fridge so it could defrost.
You fool.
So it could defrost. It's not been the biggest issue when it comes to like recording. Like it hasn't like ruined the recording sessions. Like, it's because when it happens, like I see it coming. I see it coming before the capture does.
I'm sure Violet could think of some use for this, if she were here. I doubt Count Olaf has ever put this to use.
So the thing I wanted to talk about, well, the thing I'm going to talk about, that's not really that's relative to like what I just experienced, is do you remember what brand your first cell phone was?
Violet, you're a genius. I'll need that bicycle pump.
I'm trying to think, like the one that was physically mine.
Yes, like the first cell phone that was your cell phone, your responsibility. You could use
It was LG.
It was an LG. Remember what the name of the phone was? Like an LG.
No, it was a flip phone, and it had a camera. but that's all I can super remember about it.
Alright. The first cell phone I got, the first cell phone I had, technically speaking, it was mine. It was mine. Like, it belonged to me and it belonged to me alone. But it was like a secondhand phone. And I can say this for sure.
Let's see.
I,
The
to this
bicycle pump will
day,
transfer pressure.
hold on.
So let's start with that. Next, the coil. That's what I'll use to extend and retract the device. And last, the gardening tool. A perfect hook to grab onto those hard-to-reach spots. Violet's more clever at naming these things, but I'll give it a shot. I'll call it the horrifying hook.
This dude delivers his lines so Michael Flatley, it's ridiculous. Okay. The first cell phone I had was a Nokia. It was a Nokia flip phone. I don't remember, like, it was one of the models that wasn't like named anything. It wasn't like a Nokia like for like a Nokia Jigglypuff or nothing like that. It was like, you know, like a Nokia NX B4289 or some shit like that. You know what I mean? I still have it. Weirdly enough.
I will let you know that phone, that first phone I had, the LG, made me never want to get an LG product ever again.
That is very relative to the conversation we're about to have. The second phone I got, my first ever brand new phone, like out of the box, like was bought from AT&T. The very first one I ever had was a Motorola Razr. It was a silver Motorola Razr.
I was gonna say, like, the first phone that I actually enjoyed having was my Razr, my red Razr.
Hey,
Now,
you just don't give up, do you?
now I'll say this: I loved the Razr for a lot of the wrong reasons. I will say before, and when I say a lot of the and when I say a lot of the wrong reasons, what I mean is it was like the most popular phone at the time. Like, people were like, everybody had one. Like,
I mean, on top of everything else, like, it's so popular that they're making a new version of it right now.
And again, this is the important bit. I didn't necessarily have an issue with the phone itself. What I did end up having an issue with was the chargers for the Razr were complete and utter, like, doo-doo juice. And I say that because the chargers for the Razr broke so frequently. Like, it would be like a matter of like the cord for the dang it. The cord like
sorry,
to the,
but you
because it was a
must try that
USB
again.
what, micro?
I'm pretty sure it was a micro USB
Yeah,
back then.
USB micro. For those wondering what exactly it was if you ever had a PlayStation 3 or almost any phone, like any like USB device, like from 2007 or 2006 to about 2013, it was that kind of USB device. It was that kind of USB thing.
Yeah.
And they broke so frequently, and like it would be a matter of like having to bend it so that it got in the right position, and those
yeah, because I guess that's the thing is, like, when I think back on that, like, those phones fondly, like, until like I had my last phone, which even then, like, the charger was not the best. I've just always had problems with chargers. Or if it's not the charger, the battery expands.
Okay. So that was my beef with my my Razr. The charger Because understand, like those chargers back then weren't like the ones we have now. It wasn't like you could just go buy a USB cable, plug it into like the dongle, and that was it. No, it was a matter
You had to buy
of
specific.
yeah, you had to buy a It was a charger because phones before, like my Motorola, like my Nokia. I'm sorry, my Nokia. The charger it had was very specific. To any younger men out there who might be watching this, which is none of you, think about your like if you have a beard trimmer, think about that. If you have a beard trimmer, I don't know why this is here. This is not like a typical collectible.
Like if you have a specific like Bluetooth headset or Bluetooth,
very specific Bluetooth headset or
like a Bluetooth. What am I thinking of? Speaker, like anything like that. Like,
God damn it.
They all have very specific
like it's
chargers.
a plug, like it's a thing that specifically has a plug that you plug into it. Not just like it's not like just this random thing. It's like
because again, back then they wanted you to be able to like only buy it from this because money.
Yeah, so like and the chargers for the Motorola for the Razr were low-key cute because it had like the little flip-in prongs, like for when you had to like when you weren't using it, you flip the little prongs in and it wouldn't be in the way. Like it wouldn't poke you in the side or in your pocket or whatever. You had to carry it. But again, it was not what am I trying to say? The way the cables were designed, it was not at all designed to be like long-term use friendly. Like it just wasn't. So I had my silver Razr for a good while. Like the fucking cable would eventually like continuously fuck up, and it would be what it is. So I eventually like got to so it's more important to say this. There was a point where I was
Hold on, Sonny. I'll get you out of there.
I had my phone opened up, like unfolded. The Razr was unfolded, laid face down on my bed. And I remembered I had this like weird. Just know that the thing I'm talking about is like shaped in an arch. It's supposed to be like this little back massager thing. It's like it's like a little alien looking doohickey, and like the arms and legs are very like spherical. And you're supposed to like it's from Bath and Body Works. And you're supposed to like rub it on your back. Like it I don't know how to describe. That's what it is. Like I don't know what else to tell you, but that's what it is. But basically, I put it down over the phone. I put it down over the phone, and what ended up happening was like I picked the phone back up. And the fucking screen was out. And when I say the screen was out, I mean screen was out. Like I could hear me, like it made sounds like I was pressing buttons. It could hear me pressing buttons, but the screen just went blank, as if it had like been disconnected, like it had been like unplugged or something. And there was like really not much more I could do. And I just so happened, my niece just so happened to have a pink Razr. Oh, they're throwing them. He's throwing them at me. Oh, that makes sense. Like she happened to have a pink Razr that she wanted to sell for reasons that aren't really relative to the story. So I bought her pink Razr, which did not charge. The charging port for her Razr was broken completely. So it didn't matter what you did, it just would not charge the battery whatsoever. So I had to leave my Razr plugged into the wall, and I would use that as like a battery pack. Like I would recharge the battery for her Razr in my phone, and then swap the batteries out when it was fully charged. That's what I had to do because the fucking phone both phones just were like, nah, we're not gonna fucking work. Like we're not gonna do what we were bought to do. And like there's not much else I can tell you. Like that's what happened. That's what it was. And it was around that time I remember thinking to myself, I'm not getting another Motorola. Like, the only reason I didn't still use my Nokia was because that I put it in my pocket and it cracked the screen. And like that back then, it was a straight up LCD liquid crystal phone. So when it cracked, it wasn't like, oh, there's a little split in the phone. Like
No,
in
the screen's gone.
like part of the screen went black, and then some jackass at school, like after I showed it to him, he just like pressed into the phone even worse, into the screen even worse, and made it worse. So I basically, like, the screen on my phone, the phone worked, just the screen was busted. Like the screen was not really functional. And that was the end of that story. That's how I ended up with the Motorola. Just because I didn't have a phone effectively. But that was the end of me like getting Motorola's. I just didn't want another Motorola after that. And for a long time, I did not have another Motorola. I think the phone I got after that was a Sony Walkman phone. In my personal opinion, one of the best phones I've ever had. No questions asked. The Sony Walkman phone was one of the best phones I ever had. The texting the texting on it was great. The picture resolution, the pictures it took was really good. Like when I say they were good, I mean like you took them with that phone, and if you like transferred them to like a computer or whatever, like they blew up very well. Like I still have a good chunk of the pictures I took with that phone on my current phone. And the only reason, and like I had two of those. I had like a basic model, like I had that one, and then what happened with that one was the pins. This phone had a really weird charger. It had a charger that clipped into place on the side, and the charger itself had these like these little prongs that, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like I really can't describe it. Like imagine a comb. It like it looked a lot like a comb. Like the metal things that connected to the connectors on the side of the phone stuck out, and like you could actually press them in. They were just like little bent pieces of copper. That's what it was. And it would just snap into place. Like that's what the charger was. Like it would snap into the side of the phone. The problem was the metal parts on the phone itself broke. So like imagine they were like in a C shape. Like the part where it bent would snap, and it wouldn't, like, because it wasn't conducting a charge, because it wasn't completing the circuit, it couldn't hold a charge. So the phone I got after that was another Sony Walkman, but it was a different type of Sony Walkman, like a Sony Walkman phone. And I remember the thing that was wrong with that phone was like eventually something happened where every time I closed it, I forget what happened. I think I can't remember what happened. I just remember like if I closed it, like it was a slide phone, so like you'd slide it up to like access the keypad. So if you slid it closed, I don't remember if it did something weird to the SD card, something. I just remember I ended up like putting a rubber band like around the joint so that it would make like closing it very difficult, so I couldn't close it by accident. And I'll finish this story in the next episode. That's what you call a cliffhanger. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw here today. If you did, why don't you go ahead and leave me a like. If you didn't, like, comment, and subscribe. I have a spiel that I do, and like sometimes I feel like saying it, and sometimes I don't. That's welcome to the human nature. But either way, until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. We out of here.